Unbelievable, isn't it? How are you? Hope you're well. Uh, what day is it? Wednesday, isn't it? Doesn't really matter anymore. Where are you in the world? I'm in London. We're in lockdown. Um, yeah. So, what can you do? Waiting for the vaccine. There's about 30 million people in front of me, apparently. How can that be? How can I not be vulnerable? By the time they get around to me, I will be fucking 80. Give me the injection. Just give me it now. Oh dear. From New York, yeah, where are you from? It's crazy all over though, isn't it? Uh, except in North Korea. They they sorted it out. There's other problems, but they sorted out the virus, didn't they? Indiana, Walton-on-Thames, Istanbul, Canada, vague, Ireland, London town. I'm gonna leave old London town. Blackpool, Philly, London. Oh, you gotta laugh, ain't you? This again. I thought this would all be over by now. I thought the pandemic would be over. I certainly thought this shite would be over. But if you still want me to do it, I'll do a couple of weeks. I mean, let's kick off. Let's kick off with some of the golden questions that I get sent in. Still, I haven't bothered to get this sponsored. I could be making so much. These get like, I don't know how much they've got in all. Apparently, someone worked it out because the amount I've done and how long they are and how many people listen to each one on all different formats. I've given away 1 billion free minutes. 1 billion free minutes. Do you know how much I usually get paid for half an hour's TV? It's silly money. And yet I've given this away. Because it's bollocks. Right. Still no fucking knighthood. People think I'm serious. When I make that joke, I've still no fuck. People go, would you want one? I'm joking. I know some people really want. You know, you have to campaign to get it as well. People have, you know, you write them letters, you get sponsored. Same with all these fucking stupid, shitty little fucking honours. And I just shouldn't go to fucking celebrities. And I've seen things like MBE for services to acting. Fucking services to acting. Silly twat put on a wig and learnt some lines and got paid millions. He doesn't need an award for services to acting. There's people fucking working 14-hour shifts, nurses and fucking teachers and doctors, and give it to them. Don't give it to some ponce for doing fucking Shakespeare. Right. That's the other thing. America. Right. You've got to. I'm talking, you know, to Hollywood here. You've got to start trying to be able to tell the difference between a good British actor and just a posh British actor. Right? Word of advice. Right. Here we go. Kick off. Is it true that horses can't vomit? Thanks, Andy and Gunnar. It is. I don't know why. It's something to do with the strength of their esophagus. I don't know if they can or they. I don't know. It would hurt too much. No, they can't vomit. That's true. And most mammals can, but also rodents can't. I think for a different reason. I think rodents. That's why they use rats in labs and stuff, because they give them. It's horrible. They make them eat anything, and they can't vomit. So it stays in their body, and they can. I think because in the wild, things like rats, they're smart. They don't eat anything when there's a toxin. They can tell, so they don't usually get poisoned in the wild with stuff. Um, and they also eat, because they can't vomit. They eat clay, and that soaks up some of the toxins in their body, in their stomach, and it passes through. But obviously, you know, we can poison them and give them horrible drugs and stuff. But yes, good question, Andy and Gunnar. Horses can't vomit. See, this is educational. Tiana, how do you deal with fake people in your life? I discovered nearly everyone from my hometown is. Wow. And I've been feeling down. What's the best way to move towards the future and forget the arseholes? Well, that's it, isn't it? That's exactly. You've answered your own question there. We move on. I mean, I don't really have. I sort of. When you've got no friends, you don't have to deal. No, I have always been very selective. I've never sort of befriended people for the sake of it, because I was like, I'd rather be lonely than a friend with a twat or an arsehole. And I know there's lots of arseholes like that, but I don't really deal with them. I haven't had to deal with them. I've always tried to do my own thing. I've always owned my own labour. I've worked in jobs when the people I didn't like, but you just don't get sucked in. I can't be bothered. I just can't, and I just think, and if you've been unlucky and you've known some, but I mean the best way is to just trust loved ones, you know, and a few friends and family. Then you can't go wrong. But I think people get caught out when they're worried. They're worried about being on their own, so they'd rather be in a room full of fucking twats than at home watching telly by themselves. And there's no competition. I don't know if that's answered your question or not. I just went on a rant, really. Oh dear. Don't you know? Just do your own thing. Easy said than done, isn't it? That light's too bright, isn't it? I'm squinting. We think now it wasn't bubble bath, don't we? We think it's just I've had a nice bath and I've got a beer, and then I'm having to concentrate and read. I probably should have glasses by now. And that light's too bright, and it makes me squint. Think if this was on real telly, this show like this. There was some early days of digital was like this, wasn't it? Sort of like just crap stuff in a basement with one camera. I still watched it. Freya, I've got a question for today's Ricky's Bollocks. What is your favourite scene from one of your shows that was based on one of your personal experiences? Well, lots were. I mean, everything's semi-autobiographical or about people I knew or growing up. Everything I've ever done, really. But what's your favourite scene? Well, probably. Our favourite for me is one I'm most proud of. I mean, I don't sit down and watch it myself, so it can't be my favourite. Like, oh, I'll watch that thing I did. So I have to remember, and I think my favourite things are the things that I'm most proud of, that are either hard to do or brave, or you know, hit the right notes or caused a spark or something. And so the thing that springs to mind is I wanted to document Derek having to put Ivor down. I think is the one, because I put everything into that of my experiences of having to put down pets, and I wanted to show that it was a kind thing to do, even though it's fucking devastating. I've cried every time. Cat, dog, doesn't matter. Wept every time, from when I was fucking 5 to 55. And now still, I you know. So I wanted to try and get around how fucking sad, it is, and traumatic. But it's the right thing to do, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's that one, I think. But there's quite a few. Joey. My family and I have been trying to work out what breed Teddy could be. Little picture of their new puppy. Apart from idiot. What breed do you think he looks like? Um, some sort of sheepdog, I'd say. It's difficult to tell because if there's two dogs in it, they look like two dogs. But if there was four in it, it'd be mixed up and you could get it wrong. But I'd guess at either border collie or Australian shepherd or some sort of sheepdog. Maybe a bit of German shepherd. I don't know. Depends on what the other dog is. If it's a mix, it could be a Pomeranian German shepherd. Get it DNA tested. That's always fun. That's always sometimes surprising as well. I know a dog that's part Pomeranian, part Husky, a Pomsky that looks a bit like that. But I'd say there's a bit of Australian Shepherd in him. I don't know. What am I? The dog doctor? Is it still working? You tell me, wouldn't you? I think it's still working. So I ask questions as opposed to saying, we can't see you, Ricky, or we can't hear you. Good. That's twice that's happened to me. If you remember the first time, I didn't know. I did the whole show. What a fucking loser I am. But people watch the whole show. People watch the whole show of nothing, right? Trying to tell me. Fucking hell. What a bunch of twats we are. Speak for yourself. Titch. Have you ever considered starting your own TV network? And then you could run it how you want and showcase what you want. Because maybe you could call it Space Hopper TV. That's to do with my shape. Well, I sort of do, really. I sort of do what I want, don't I? You know, I've always tried to get Fine Let It, and if I had think how much I'd have to do to have my own TV network. But you could, and also that's YouTube, isn't it? Everyone's got their own. This is my own TV network, really, isn't it? It's not on the telly, and it's shit. But most things are shit and on the telly. No, because then you'd get restrictions, wouldn't you? Then you start worrying about if it was a success, you start going, oh my god, I mustn't say the wrong thing because it piss people off. Everyone will get involved. It's better to have someone else worry about it, someone else lawyer it, and you do what you want, and then they take the blame. Oh dear. What else is there? Bella. I can convince people to do things just by using my eyes. Bella's a dog, by the way. Examples. A random lady in a pub gave me her steak. And a neighbour opened her shopping before she'd even got into her house to give me some chicken. How long is it an acceptable amount of time to stare at someone before it becomes weird or creepy? If you're a dog, it's all right. That would never stress me out, just being stared at by a dog or a cat. So you can do it as long as you want, Bella. Just get the food is what I do. You do whatever you need to do to get the food, and then you can do your zoomies and everything, can't you? I'm doing Jimmy Fallon again tomorrow night on Zoom. Got nothing to plug. I think it's Golden Globes voting. I've got no chance. Mainly because when I hosted the Golden Globes, I said everyone in the room was a pervert. That does not go down well. It was a year ago yesterday. I hosted the Golden Globes. So yeah. Oh, I thought someone asked me? Was it Ollie Comistrick asked me if I was doing the Golden Globes this year, what subjects would I pick on? I mean, the things that have happened in the last, sometimes I think, oh, I wish I was doing the Globes. I regret it immediately. I'm not going to do it again. It's too stressful, and I just couldn't beat that last time. I've enjoyed it every time, and I think I've got better at it, but I couldn't. I don't think I could beat the last time for reaction, and it was quite, But I'd probably do the same again. Continued slagging off of Hollywood that's crumbling, their pretensions and all that. I'd have a go at their pretend wokeness so they don't get cancelled, or they're all trying to be woke now so they don't get cancelled. So their films are failing because it's not good. It's not good worrying about other issues when you're creating art. You should worry about the thing itself. And now they're worried about saying the wrong thing. The art suffers, of course. So, and that's not the only reason it's failing. I think people have got fed up with, actors telling normal people how to live their life and how to vote, and people just know that it's bollocks. I see all these campaigns of, multi-millionaires telling people, wash out your coffee jar after, put it in this. They came to the studio in a fucking limousine, then went for a helicopter back. So all those things I'd tease. I think I'd start off with a song and dance number from Prom. Is it called that? And I'd end. We'd all sing Imagine. I'd announce my new pronoun, which is it. I want to be referred to as it. Oh dear. I'd do more of that, I suppose. Yeah, so I'm doing Jimmy Fallon tomorrow. I don't know what. No, nothing to plug. I'll say Afterlife is still available. That's old now. Probably might talk about this. I might talk about you lot. I should ask him some of the questions. What's been your favourite question that someone has ever asked and I've ever answered? Everything from thumbs for nipples or nipples for thumbs, and space travel, and me ended up in a bucket and being anally probed by aliens. I'm sure there was a question as well from someone about if I had to give. Oh, Kermit, there it is. Kermit, you and Jane decide to adopt another pet for Pickle. This is my eyesight, see? But there was something in me that was panicking that I'd forgotten a cat's question. That's what this has come to. Like, there's not enough worries in the fucking world. I'm worried about fucking getting COVID or cancelling my tour again and all that. But I'm going, I'm sure there was a question from a fucking cat. That stressed me out. You and Jane decide to adopt another pet for Pickle to play with, but you must choose between Baby Yoda or E.T. Which cute little alien is coming home with you? Well, we're both big fans of E.T. I remember the first time Jane watched it alone, and then she was crying. She had to answer the door to someone, and she was just crying from watching E.T. And then I watched it with her, and we both cried. So it is one of the best films ever. We love E.T. And I like the fact that it starts off like he's an ugly little thing, but then you love him because he's, you know, sweet. And that's a lovely, lovely film, nice message. I love E.T. I haven't seen Baby Yoda in that thing, but he's cute as well. But I think we've got to go with E.T. there. E.T. I'll be right here. Did I tell you this? We're running out of time, but I'll tell you this story. I might have told you this before. Me and Jane sort of, we both love animals, and we can't stand the idea of an animal in pain, even in a fictional thing. It's horrible. And when I was a kid, my mum took me to see Old Yeller. Now, spoiler alert, it is about 50 years old, this film, so if you haven't seen it, it's about it's out in America somewhere. It might be, I don't know, 60s. I think it was made then, 50s or 60s. And it's a kid growing up with this lovely dog, right? And the dog gets rabies, and it's a beautiful film. And they've got to put the dog down, and the little kid says, "I'll do it. It's my dog." It's devastating, and for a kid, fucking hell. And I told Jane about it. It was an amazing film, right? And then when I was on tour once, and Jane said, "Oh, I've just started watching Old Yeller," right? And I went, "Oh, amazing." And about half an hour later, she texts me, "Nothing happens to the dog, does it?" And I sent back, "Of course not. It's a Disney film." Another hour later, I get another text that just says, "You cunt." Oh dear. Well, hey Siri, play David Brent, Life on the Road. Alexa, play David Brent, Life on the Road. Can you make it buy things? Alexa, buy David Brent, Life on the Road. Hey Siri, buy David Brent, Life on the Road. Can you buy things on that? Does it order it? Does that work? Oh dear. Why don't you just buy it anyway? I've given 1 billion free minutes. Buy one lousy track of the David Brent album. David Brent's 20 years old this year. Well, he's not 20 years old. He's 60 years old. But, yeah. July 9th, 2001. David Brent hit our screens in the UK. Brent 20. That should be the logo. Oh, Twitter, can you do a little emoji? Brent 20. Hashtag Brent, and a little thing like that. Can you do that? Can they do that? What about a thank you? What about a fucking thank you from Twitter for getting people watching, being on Twitter for half an hour, twice a week? Yeah, that's my gift. From Twitter to me. That's my gift. I'm telling Twitter to give me. Sort out an emoji. Brent 20. And that. So whenever it writes Brent or The Office or whatever, a little Brent pops up. Sort it out. We want a campaign. Hashtag Brent 20. I could make football shirts, couldn't I? I'm giving away great ideas here. Right. Someone big, a big store. Like, who's a big store? Marks and Spencer's. Are they still going? You could do football shirts with Brent 20 on them, like a football shirt, with "I bloody love football." Yeah. Just riffing here. Always thinking. Tesco. Someone said Tesco. I've shouted out to Twitter and Tesco to help celebrate Brent 20 years of David Brent. In fact, whenever anyone says David Brent, you've got to do that. If you're just talking, you go, oh yeah, I really like The Office, I really like that character David Brent. You've got to do that from now on. That'd be great. Nothing concrete, no banners, no official sort of, just that day when anyone ever says David Brent. If your name is David Brent, whenever anyone goes, hi, you've got to go like that. That's probably quite rare, isn't it? Oh God. Well, look, I talked bollocks for half an hour. That'll do. Thanks for all the questions. Watch me on Jimmy Fallon tomorrow night. If you're voting for the Golden Globes, sorry I called everyone perverts. Oh, come on. That was the best performance of the year. You know it. I know it. The people know it. Do what's right. I need more awards. Good. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening. Let's do it again Sunday. And check out that David Bowie thing. All the bands doing Bowie songs, celebration on his birthday, 8th of Jan. And I pop up. I was interviewed. So yeah. Alexa, by David Brent, Life on the Road. Right. Cheers. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.